What if one morning you woke up to find your quiet neighborhood transformed, not by new neighbors, but by characters straight out of your favorite books and movies, living right next door, completely unaware that their lives were once ink on a page or frames on a screen? Imagine stepping outside and seeing that wise wizard from your childhood fantasy wandering the grocery aisles, his cloak dragging slightly as he debates which cereal to buy. Or the fearless space captain from that sci-fi saga, jogging down your street in full uniform, as if intergalactic battles were just part of yesterday's news. They don't remember the scripts, the plots, or the stories that birthed them. They're real, with memories, feelings, and agendas shaped only by their new lives here. At first, it feels like a blessing, a neighborhood suddenly bursting with endless stories and possibilities. But soon, things get complicated. How do you explain to a detective who spent decades chasing fictional villains that those villains don't exist? Or to a tragic hero who's lived a lifetime of heartbreak that their narrative arc has no predetermined ending here? The social fabric of your community would unravel and reweave itself in mesmerizing ways. Characters from wildly different worlds, medieval knights rubbing shoulders with futuristic androids, noir antiheroes sipping coffee beside whimsical fairies, would all try to navigate the mundane realities of suburban life. The wizard might get frustrated with slow Wi-Fi. The space captain could struggle with the concept of traffic jams. The fairy might be delighted by backyard gardens but bewildered by lawnmowers. Meanwhile, their stories would unfold in real time, unscripted, full of unpredictable drama and humor. Neighborhood disputes could turn into epic battles. Friendly barbecues might feel like secret councils planning grand quests. And as they form new bonds, their original fictional identities would blur, morphing into something richer and stranger. Would your favorite villain find redemption? Or would they double down on old grudges, now fueled by real emotions rather than narrative necessity? But what about you, the person who remembers? How do you live with the paradox of knowing these characters' origins while they remain blissfully ignorant? Watching your favorite hero struggle with everyday problems outside. Their heroic context could be both hilarious and heartbreaking. The lines between fiction and reality blur not just for them, but for you. Suddenly, the stories you once consumed become living, breathing experiences, and with that comes responsibility. Do you intervene to protect them from the harshness of reality? Or let them stumble and grow on their own? And what if the very act of them existing here changes the nature of storytelling itself? Maybe the boundaries between author and audience dissolve, and narrative becomes a shared creation, fluid and alive. On a larger scale, imagine the world's reaction when these characters begin to interact beyond your neighborhood. Would governments attempt to regulate them, fearing powers they don't understand? Would fans flock in droves, hoping to glimpse their beloved icons in the flesh? The media frenzy alone would be staggering talk shows hosting an elven queen, news reports on a time traveler's predictions, viral videos of a supervillain's meltdown at the local mall. And through it all, these characters, once confined to the limits of pages and screens, would forge new identities and destinies, independent from the stories that made them famous. The concept of fiction would evolve, no longer a realm apart but a living, breathing part of the world around you. So what if your quiet street was the crossroads of all these tales? What if heroes and villains, legends and myths, could live and breathe beside you? You might never look at your favorite stories the same way again, because suddenly, they're not stories. They're neighbors, friends, and maybe even reflections of yourself, navigating the messy, unpredictable plot of real life.